Welcome back to Fast Money. 176. That is the number of stocks in the S&P 500 that have at least doubled off their March lows. Check out these monster moves in names like Etsy, United Rentals, Nvidia, and Whirlpool, all up triple digits percentage-wise. So we thought this would be the perfect time to play a little game of
Trade It or Fade It.
That's right, Trade It or Fade It, the double edition. Guy is a veteran at this game, as you all are. We kick things off with you there. Etsy is up more than 460% since the March low. Trade It or Fade It, Guy Adami.
Well, I would rather play wrap it or scrap it, and I'm absolutely wrapping it with a W, and it makes sense because Etsy's been the gift that keeps on giving. I understand valuations are ridiculous, but just look at the last quarter. Look at their active buyers. Look at the growth there. Jim Cramer had, I think, Josh Silverman on the end of October said they still have tremendous upside in terms of where he sees the company. So despite valuation, I think you trade it and wrap it at the same time.
Dan, as I understand it, do you not like or perhaps hate Etsy?
I don't hate it, but I'm not a buyer here. I'm fading this thing. And let me just tell you, let's go back and look at really where Etsy came from, and it's really from eBay, if you think about it. You know, eBay's a $34 billion market cap company. Etsy's $21 billion, trading at, 13 times sales. I mean, it just doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. Their sales grew this year 100% year over year. There's supposed to be single-digit growth next year. I just don't see it. I think it's as good as it gets for a while on Etsy. And if we're playing another game called Would You Rather, I'd rather swap into eBay, and maybe we see some of these trends kind of take hold as we go into 2021.
What's going on tonight? We're playing a game. We're playing Trade It or Fade It. Simple, simple, simple. All right, we're going to move on. Next up, United Rentals gaining 305% since its bottom hit in March. So, Karen, I know you'll play this right. Trade it or fade it. Simple question.
Okay, trade it. You know, I do protest trade it as being I'm a buyer, but I am long, so that would make me trade it. You know, obviously the stock has rebounded a lot. It never should have been where it was in the March low. They do have some debt that people, I guess, got a little afraid of at that time. Debt is not in any way an issue for them. They're on the lower side of where they want to be in terms of their debt to EBITDA ratio. They'd actually like to run the business higher. So I'm optimistic on growth. Obviously, the stock run gives me a little bit of pause, but I'm staying long. I think also we've got some other good news from Ashted, which is Sunbeam, their U.S. division, direct comp. They reported decent earnings. Herc reported decent. I think that I'm staying long, so that's a trade it.
All right, let's get back to Trade It or Fade It and talk about the stocks that have doubled since the March bottom. We want to get to Nvidia. This is a big one, rallying almost 200% since lows this year. Dan, Trade It or Fade It?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to play the game again. Near term, it looks like a trade. It looks like it gets back up to those prior highs. Longer term, it's a fade. I mean, this is a $330 billion market cap company up over 200%, trading at like 20 times sales. It's not sustainable. It's also becoming a bit of a roll-up. They're doing a lot of things great, but I mean, I guess the easy money's been made at this point. So, I don't even know what I'm faded, I guess.
I don't even know how to respond to that because I don't know. I mean, it's play the game by the rules like I do. I'm wrapping this sucker, which means I'm trading this. And, the stock went from $5.90 down to $5.15. So you saw the sell-off already. You've seen sell-offs like that before in NVIDIA over the years. And each time it's been a huge opportunity. I think that's what we're seeing now. And by the way, just take a look at a name like Xilinx, for example, on a lousy tape today. That stock traded up to $150. And I bring it up because it's significantly through the AMD bid. I think it was 143 or so. These stocks continue to be in play. I think they go higher. So I'll play the game right, Mel. Trade it.
You haven't this whole time. You were talking for like 3 minutes on NVIDIA, and you were not playing at all by the rules, and you threw in a would you rather. So I feel like tonight we are going to look back and say that was the night that Trade It or Fade It died. We're going to look back, and this is going to be a historical night on Fast Money. Tim Seymour, we're going to move on, though. We'll see if you want to play or if you want to be part of the mutiny here. Whirlpool spinning more than 180% higher since March. Trade it or fade it?
Look, there is no I in the word Tim, and I'm going to play this game as it's supposed to be played. I'm not going to scrap it. I'm not going to crave it. I'm not going to do all these other things. I'm actually going to trade it. And Whirlpool is, to me, one of the ways you play the housing sector. This is a story where I think you have an enormous pent-up demand. I think you have a valuation mostly right now that still makes a lot of sense, and you have operating margins that are improving. I think the supply chain dynamics were a concern early on. I think they've worked through most of this. I think this housing trade is in the middle innings, so you trade this one.
Yeah, there's no I in Tim, or no me in Seymour either. But that having been said, I agree with everything else that Tim said. I agree with the story. I agree the multiple's not crazy. People think, oh, they've pulled forward all the demand. I agree that there are geographies, Latin America, for example, where things are improving. I don't believe it's all been pulled forward, and I like it right here.
Since the majority of you guys don't like this game, we're going to play a bonus round. AT&T is up 17%, which sounds pretty decent, but only 10 other stocks in the S&P 500 have done worse since the March bottom in the entire index. So, Tim, since you're the only one who played it right, played it straight, what do you say?
And I'll play it straight and right again. And I'll tell you that AT&T is something I would like to trade. This underperformance is a function of many things, but people have forgotten the media assets that are part of the sum of the parts, which makes AT&T very attractive. The 7% dividend yield is not why you own this, but the underperformance has something to do with obviously what's going on in the wireless and in the prepaid. But I think that is a less competitive environment than it used to be. And I like AT&T here, and I think the low rate environment also is good for a company with a lot of debt.
All right. By the way, if you're looking to trade some of the other stocks that have done the worst since the March lows, check out our story on CNBC Pro. We have a list of names that could benefit the most when the economy reopens.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.